Hello, and welcome to your introduction to Tarot Intensive with Urban Goddess. I'm also known as Joy, and this video is just a quick introduction for you so you can know what to expect if you do choose to sign up for the Tarot Intensive course. I am placing this on video because this is my number one workshop that is requested of me. And as soon as I teach it, I am being asked, when will you teach the next one? So there's always someone missing it and wanting, and then hearing about it and then wanting to come and join the class. So I felt that it would be very important to share this on a global level and make it available to all. I also, in this video, want to share with you a bit of my story so you understand my approach with tarot and why I feel it is such an amazing tool to help so many people. So, first, let's talk about why it's good for you and how this will serve you. There's a couple of different viewpoints. The first viewpoint is you may have always had some kind of connection on an unknown level. You may have always had some type of intuition. You may have been able to see spirits, work with your spirit guides at a young age. Maybe it's happening now in your life, and now you want to figure out how to use it, right, for the greater good. And to help you understand this, you don't have to have that connection in order to be a great tarot reader. Tarot is this amazing tool. It's this amazing connection to source, meaning that your spirit guides and your higher self truly work through these cards to help you see what needs to be seen at any given time. It is really an objective view. And that is what tarot is great for. So let me tell you my story a bit. At the age of 5, I had seen my very first spirit, and it was one of my spirit guides. And I remember going to my mom and letting her know what I had seen, and I remember her reaction. And as a young child, at the tender age of 5, that was really hard for me because I was told it was in my imagination. I was told that it's not real. I was told that I must have been dreaming. And that was not the case. So as I went along my way as a child, I continued to have these visions, able to see spirits and things of that nature. And as I grew into my teens, I began to, it was kind of during puberty, just so you know, so that's something to think about. I started to see premonitions. These premonitions were something that I didn't understand at first, but as time went on and things started to happen, and then I would hear about it, and then I thought, oh my gosh, I saw that happen the other night before I went to sleep. And because it would happen right before I drifted off to sleep fully. That's when my premonitions would come to me as a teen. And I continued to battle with this. I continued to share it with my mom, who raised me. She was a single mom. So I continued to share it with her, but we came from a Christian background. So I was exposed to a certain specific religion and belief system that did not recognize what I was experiencing. However, they believed in talking to God, they believed in prayer. So there was some understanding, but my God wasn't coming through the way her God was coming through, or the church's God would come through. So imagine my dismay. It just never made sense and it never clicked for me. I continued along my path, and at the tender age of 17, I lost my boyfriend in a car accident. He died instantly. Well, lucky me, I had a premonition of it before it happened, only an hour before it happened. Now, this was that pivotal point for me because I then became very, very frustrated. I didn't understand why I would be shown something when I can't fix. Now, remember, I came from a Christian background, so why else would I have a vision if if not to help someone, like to save someone's life? That's what I thought that meant. That's what I thought the purpose was. And so I became very, very frustrated because now I wasn't able, I had this gift of some kind that I didn't understand. It felt like a curse, and I didn't know how to control it, and I didn't know why. Now I look back and I understand, why we have these premonitions and why it's important. We are connected to these individuals, and we can feel them as they get ready to leave. And now I understand that, but at the time it just baffled me. I continued to have more premonitions, and by the age of 18, I was praying for these premonitions to go away. And to the point where I really tried to shove it down and shove it away. As I continued the next year or so, I continued to try to push it away. And I went to college and, graduated high school, did all those things and like just distracted myself and pushed it away as best as I could and tried to act like it doesn't happen to me. And I was very haunted by the passing of my boyfriend specifically. And he did come to me in a dream one night, and I was able to release it, and it really did help me. However, right around that same time I had that dream, I was gifted a numerology reading by an amazing numerologist who now is quite famous. Um, but someone had gifted this to me when he was just beginning himself, this practitioner. And I was very, very fortunate enough. So I made my way to San Francisco and I had this 1 hour session with this individual. And he did my numerology chart and we talked about my future and vibrations that I would come again, come across as I went into my life and my life cycle. And it was a really great reading. And he tapped into the fact that I had this ability. And I broke down and I shared with him my story. And he really helped me. He tapped into a past life of mine where I had been a tarot reader and I had done this work prior. And he recommended that I get a deck of tarot cards. And I guess I knew what tarot was, but I really had no idea. Like I had heard of the cards and, what have you at that point. So off I went and I left that reading with some focus. And I went and found these tarot cards. And immediately, immediately, I became very comfortable with them. It felt very, very right. And I began to do readings for friends and readings for myself. And I would get this feedback, and the individuals would be so grateful because I was so dead on with these readings. Yet I had never been formally trained. I just went off of intuition. And with that, I discovered numerology and I blended numerology into tarot. And anyway, so it all kind of progressed in the last 20 years, or actually a little over 20 years now, that I was able to do it as a profession eventually when I was ready to do so. So, tarot has been this amazing gift for me. The biggest gift that it gives me is I'm able to focus and hone my intuition into this deck of cards. And I'm able to control on a certain level when my intuition kicks in. So one of the beautiful things about tarot is I was able to somewhat turn off my abilities when I needed to, and then turn them back on when I needed to. So I kind of talk about it like it's like dimming a light switch or like brightening the light switch, the dimmer lights. So I can control it. I can turn it down or I can turn it up. So now I'm able to do that with the tarot cards, and it's been a really great gift. I am also a psychic. I don't always do tarot. I've evolved as I've grown, but I definitely started with tarot. And so I am very, very passionate about this tool. I know how much it can help people. And so it's my passion and drive to teach as many people as I possibly can. Now, for those of you who don't have a story like mine and you just feel drawn to it for whatever reason, I want you to think of it this way. You're being called to turn on your psychic ability. That is what's happening here. So why not? Why not invest in yourself and give this a try? One of the things you will learn from this course is to turn on and open your third eye, to open and expand your consciousness, to learn to listen to your intuition, to allow yourself to almost be channeled. Okay. And I say channeling, I don't want it to scare you, but just know that you are letting spirit work through you so that you can help another. And with great intention comes great reward. So I'm sharing this with you because I want to inspire you to take this course. Anyone at any skill level can take this course and receive something from it. I guarantee you that. My belief is that we work on our own internal self in order to expand and open up to help others. So we will start with our own and then open ourselves up and go from there. The first part of this series is for the self practitioner, the individual who just wants to learn tarot and then expand it. And then the second part of this course, if you are interested to continue and actually do readings for a living, the second part of the course is for that. So start as the beginner and then move your way to the intermediate. It's completely up to you how far you choose to go. You may not even need the intermediate to go to that next level. You might just naturally, organically be able to do that. So just know that you don't quote unquote need me to do this work, but I do have the experience and the foundational tools to help you along your path. One thing that you have to know is that my approach to actually teaching is a very intuitive approach. So you will learn how to read within a very short time. And then we will build from there onto that. So go ahead and give it a try. I do hope this video helps you understand what you can expect. As far as the series itself, you will receive PDF files that will have charts and graphs to help you. Also, you will receive a lesson plan so you know what to expect. So I say go ahead and take a chance and give it a try. I've kept the price fairly low so that anyone can afford it and anyone can invest in themselves. I hope this video served you well. Have a great day.